Hey, welcome back to AT Overland. Today we got a fun one. The goal is to finish airing down here. We're gonna head up over these mountains that are in front of me. Hopefully we'll get up and over around 12,000 feet of elevation with some incredible views. So if that sounds interesting, stick with us. I'm gonna finish airing down and we'll get on the trail. See you soon. Leaving the asphalt behind, our adventure begins in the fast-moving, well-groomed ranch roads. They're smooth, wide, and easy to cover. The kind of road that invites you to just settle in, open up a little bit, and just take it all in. Off in the distance, the Sweetwater Mountains rise sharp and imposing against the horizon, their peaks hinting at stories and challenges that lie ahead. After hitting a number of private property gates that were posted in different cutoffs trying to get up into the same area, super nice to see one with access. So if you come up to a gate that says please close the gate, make sure you go through it and close the gate afterwards. If the gates are open and there's nothing marked, then it's typically pretty safe to leave it open as you go through. But just a little bit of trail etiquette. After clearing the gate, everything changes. Beyond it, the smooth road gives way to loose rock and uneven terrain. The trail narrows, twisting through what looks like an old riverbed, scattered with sharp stones that test both the patience and the suspension. Progress here slows, each mile demanding attention. The easy rhythm from the valley fades into a careful crawl. At first, I tell myself this is temporary. That once we're past this stretch, things will ease up and the loose rock just keeps coming. Every turn, every climb seems to offer a new challenge. The vehicle works hard, the suspension flexing and cycling and settling with every step forward. It's the kind of trail that humbles you, reminds you that even the best laid routes can have their own ideas. But with each slow mile, we edge closer to the mountains that have been drawing us here since the start. And even through the haze and the dust, there's a feeling of something special lies ahead. An echo of the past, waiting in the high country, keeps us pushing forward. Man, this trail is just a slow, chunky slog. I don't think we've gone very far, but it's taken a lot of time. It's just tons and tons of loose rock. But we're still climbing. We got quite a ways to go. So as we make our way higher into the Sweetwater Mountains, the road narrows and climbs, winding through a landscape that feels frozen somewhere between time and endurance. The air is thin here, the views wide and endless. It's easy to imagine the kind of determination it must have taken to carve a living out of this remote stretch of mountains. So, finally there's a couple structures here. One says Belfort, 1880 to 1980. And apparently we're at 10,200 feet above sea level. Don't know much about this. Wasn't even on Onyx, so I don't really know about it. But I know that I'm super happy to be here. I'm sure the truck's super happy to be here. We've just been grinding and grinding and grinding up narrow shelf road that's just nothing but chunky rocks, and it has not been not been a lot of fun. I haven't been able to capture a lot of it, just because it's been both hands on the wheel making it happen. But let's take a look at this stuff, and we'll figure out maybe how far along we are on the trail, and see if it's even worth continuing. Well, it probably is, because I don't really want to go back that way. All right, so let's take a look around. Tucked at the base of Mount Patterson, just shy of the California-Nevada border, sits the remains of Belfort, once known as Boulder Flat, a mining camp that thrived briefly in the late 1800s before slowly fading into history. Today, only weathered reminders remain, hand-hewn log cabins leaning into the wind, the outlines of mine shafts, the stone foundations, the scattered bits of rusted metal that hint at lives once that lived here. Standing among the ruins, it's hard not to feel the stories buried in this ground. The sound of wind through the broken timbers easily have been the whisper of miners sharing tales under a lantern's glow. The view from here stretches across the desert below, towards the same Highway 395 that carried us north several days ago. From this height, it's easy to see why people came here, chasing opportunity, and just as easy as to understand why so few stayed. Belfort's isolation is both a curse and its charm, a stark, beautiful reminder of how quickly ambition can fade back into dust. For me, exploring places like this isn't just about seeing what's left, it's about feeling the weight of the time, standing in the spaces where history still lingers, and carrying a small piece of that story forward. It must have been a hard life up here back in the day. The Sweetwater Mountains rise quietly between California and Nevada, a rugged stretch of high country that doesn't often make the maps or the postcards. But maybe, just maybe, that's what makes them so special. These peaks have a way of sneaking up on you, unassuming from a distance, but raw and wild once you're among them. Up here, the air feels different. It's thinner, it's sharper, carrying a scent of sage and stone. The wind moves freely across the ridges, whispering through the pines and over the remnants of old mining camps long forgotten. It's a place that speaks softly, but with weight, a reminder of endurance of time and how nature quietly reclaims what we've left behind. For me, the Sweetwaters aren't just another stop on the map. They're a glimpse into the kind of beauty that hides in plain sight, waiting for those willing to go just a little bit further to find something a little bit more special. Up here, above tree line, lies a landscape locals call Mars with Flowers. It's an otherworldly place, stark, pale, and windswept, where the ground itself feels alien. The soil, rich in rhyolite, gives the slopes their light color, and under the right light, it really does resemble the surface of another planet. But then, almost out of nowhere, you begin to notice small bursts of life. Tiny, hardy little wildflowers clinging to the thin, thin soil. Mono ragwort, Mason's Jacob's ladder, Townsend daisies, resilient blooms that defy the odds. They paint color onto a landscape that at first glance seems incapable of supporting anything at all. It's a place of contradictions, harsh and beautiful, lifeless and full of life all at once.
You know, it's unfortunate. All the signs that say, don't go off the road. People got to go off the road so they can get that whatever cool shot they're looking for in between those two rocks. I mean, it's a great looking shot, but nah, I won't do it. Anyway, as you can see, it's incredible out here. I was going to try and fly the drone, but the drone doesn't want to take off up here.
The wind never stops up here. It moves freely across the open slopes, shaping the land and testing everything that dares to grow. But in the challenge, there's quiet strength, a reminder that even the most unforgiving conditions, life always finds a way. From the summit, the views stretch for miles, 360 degrees of raw, untouched country. The deserts to the east, the Sierra Crest to the west. You can almost trace the trails and rivers that carried the miners up from Belfort more than a century ago, chasing their own kind of endurance. Standing here on Mount Patterson, surrounded by stone and silence, it's hard not to feel the pull of this place. Mars with Flowers, a name that fits not just the mountain, but the spirit of it. Stark, resilient, and unexpectedly full of life. I spent some time here on top of Mount Patterson, taking it all in, reflecting on the trip to get up here, taking in the views in all different directions, thinking about the history that built up to this one particular moment. I opened the box, I went ahead and signed in, to let other people know that I'd been here. And in the can, I left some stickers and some patches. So if you find yourself on Mount Patterson, please help yourself. And if you would, send me a note on my Instagram so I know who ended up with the goodies. Before heading down, I took a moment to wander over the old flagpole at the summit. Its metal surface was covered in stickers and markings from those who had come this way before. Explorers, riders, and wanderers, all leaving a small trace of their journey. I added mine among them, a quiet way to commemorate the climb and the experience. Standing there in the wind, surrounded by the vast expanse of the Sweetwaters, it felt like more than just a waypoint on a map. It was a shared moment in time, part of a much larger story written across these mountains. Having enjoyed my time in this high-altitude paradise, just shy of 12,000 feet above sea level, it was time to turn my attention downhill. Ahead, a new canyon dropped away beyond the horizon, pulling me back towards the pine and sage, back towards creeks that carry life through these rugged mountains. The descent was slow and steady, each turn revealing a new layer of the Sweetwaters. What began as barren rock and windswept ridgelines gradually gave way to soft meadows, scattered pines. The air grew thicker, warmer, filled with the faint scent, again of sage and dust. It was like retracing a journey of the snowmelt itself, leaving behind the harsh beauty of alpine world and returning to where things grow and breathe again. As I wound my way deeper into the valley, the sense of solitude began to shift into calm familiarity. The trees felt like old friends. The sound of running water grew stronger, and I knew I was getting closer to an area I had visited just a day before while heading the other direction on a different trail. After a long day of exploring high above timberline, the thought of settling into camp beside a quiet creek or tucked safely into the shelter of a stand of trees felt like the perfect ending. A place to rest, reflect, and let the day settle in with the evening light. There's nothing like wrapping up a long day on the trail with a little puddle jumping. Letting the cool water wash away the dust, the miles, the weight of the day. Each splash feels like a small celebration, a reminder of how far we've come as we've made our way towards camp and the promise of a quiet night beneath the stars. So this is the part where I say, if you've hung in there with me this long, I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. Some of that trail was kind of hairy, some of it was kind of annoying because it was so just slow and tedious. But it all paid off. We got down the other side, back into the trees. Nice camp spot here. And I think this is where I'm going to leave you. We've had a very full day. And I think I'm ready to kick it. So if you're not subscribed already, please take a moment, click that subscribe button, and click the little bell thing so if you, when we do post more stuff, you'll see it. We do a lot up here off 395, a lot in the Sierras, and yeah, we're kind of in the middle of doing a whole bunch of stuff in the Sierras. So I'm gonna probably get up early. I'm gonna probably head out of here. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and I think I'll roll home on Tuesday. That way I won't have to deal with all the people going home today. Anyway, thanks a lot. Take care. And as always, I wish you wonderful trail karma. All right. Well, as you can probably figure out, I ended up not camping there. Get out of there, hit the road. It was just so fast. It was easy. Next thing I know, I'm at Buckeye. So I went over and jumped in one of the pools. Had the big pool off to the side. Nobody was there. Everybody's down below. So I was able to just have a nice, quiet soak. And let me tell you, man, I see the world through a different view now. I feel so good. But now I'm gonna go probably across the canyon. I know there's a bunch of camping over there. It's usually pretty busy, but I'm hoping because it's the Monday night of a 3-day weekend, maybe a lot of them have gone home, and I'll be able to get a decent spot and cook some dinner. And I'm gonna do some editing tonight because I feel really motivated now. Alright, well, I'll see you when we get to camp. What a day. What an absolutely incredible day. Saw some crazy stuff. Top of that mountain. Remember, you know where that is. There's some patches and stickers in that box. If you grab them, shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'd love to see who got them. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my taco here. Probably make a little more dinner. Wrap it up, clean it up. And we'll go from there. Taco cheers.